All right, hey, let's get started. We've got a great episode today. Let's kick it off with visiting from SRP, which is this episode's sponsor. This is even more proof that Mesa Morning Live has gone to the birds. Please welcome Senior Environmental Scientist from SRP. Please welcome Leslie Swanson.
Hello.
Hi, Leslie, welcome.
Thank you.
Good to have you here. We're a little bit nervous about the birds, but this is nothing new. Oh, by the way, before I'm going to interrupt myself, I do that quite often. We'd like to thank Crowd Mics for being here. If you look at the screen, I'm all out of sequence here, but if you look at the screen, you can go and figure out a way to, let's see, if you got it? Yeah. You can ask questions of the audience, or from the audience of any of our guests. They will appear here on this spiffy little pad that I have. And Crowd Mics, designed by Mr. Tim Holliday over there and his brother, Mesa's own Holiday Brothers, and they're a cool little interactive way to communicate. So talk to Tim after the show. He'd love to tell you more about that. So anyway, back to you, Leslie. What's going on at SRP, and who the heck is that?
SRP has an avian protection program, and what that program does, it helps ensure that our power lines are actually built bird-friendly. And as you can see here, this is a very large bird. A lot of our overhead distribution is not built for a bird that size to actually land on it. And more urban eagles are moving into the Phoenix metropolitan area. And unfortunately, we want to make sure that they're not going to get electrocuted. So SRP is trying to take some proactive measures to understand what the birds are doing.
Wow, those are some serious talents. Now, what kind of bird is that?
That is a bald eagle.
Yeah. But really, oh, I see now, he's doing the comb over. Very prevalent among the more vain of the bald eagles. Wow, that is beautiful.
And as you can see, it doesn't have a white head yet. So a lot of times folks might see a bird this size on the power poles and not know that it's an eagle, because when they're young, they're mostly brown. And unfortunately, we don't get that information until it's too late. So we're trying to understand what they're doing.
Okay, so at what point do they turn?
About 5 years old.
5 years old.
Start getting the white head and the white tail that everybody's used to seeing.
Well, I had no idea. Look at the things you'll learn by coming to Mesa Morning Live. So, well, that's phenomenal. Are they prevalent? Are they common in the valley?
Eagles have been fairly common around the reservoirs. So bald eagles like to eat fish, and fish are found in the water, and we live in the desert. So traditionally, they've been around the reservoirs. We're doing a wonderful job protecting them here in the valley. Arizona Game and Fish has a program. They monitor the bird nests and the baby eagles, and they're moving into metropolitan areas. So they're showing up at golf courses and residential neighborhoods that have water. And they're trying to set up shop and live here in the valley with us.
Wow, that's very cool. Yeah, you hear about them at the golf course all the time, the rare eagle or the double eagle. I've actually, I'm more familiar with the not so rare bogey. Wow, that is very cool. It's so how are you trying to learn to coexist while at the same time the valley's growing, the population's growing? I'm sure that presents a lot of challenges.
SRP recently purchased 6 GPS backpacks to put on the back of bald eagles, juvenile bald eagles, a little bit smaller. And they have solar panel on them, so they recharge.
Are you serious?
Yep. They
Awesome.
use the cellular network, and they will ping data through the cellular network. We can download it on our computers. I'm working with SRP's Cartographic and GIS Services group to process that data, and we're overlaying that with SRP's distribution system to try and understand where the birds are hanging out and if they're using any of our infrastructure.
Wow. Now, this is just interesting. It was interesting to me. I live up in Carefree, and there's all kinds of crazy wildlife up there. Well, I had a neighbor that got a very expensive one of those flying airplane things, and he had it up in the neighborhood, and a couple birds of prey, attack birds,
Took it out?
just totally took it out. I thought that was awesome.
They're actually training eagles to take out drones in other countries.
Really?
Yes. So a bird that size will take out your drone.
That's a good gig for an eagle. So if I see an eagle, should I let you guys know?
SRP actually has a phone number that folks can call if you want to report birds on power lines or if you see a nest. So you can call 602-236-BIRD, which is 2473. It's kind of like the bat phone, but you'll get me instead of Batman. And we will look into the issue. We'll determine whether or not it is SRP or APS service territory. And then we'll go out, we'll address what the problem is and try and make sure that the infrastructure is safe for birds.
That's cool. Too bad you couldn't have used like 1-800-THE-EAGLE, but those lawyers got that. Just shysters. Wait, did that go out? Shysters? I'll have to call the Eagle. All right, cool. Well, what else do we need to know?
So SRP works very closely with the folks from Liberty Wildlife. They're a local wildlife rehabilitation center here in Arizona. And Jan Miller and Laddie are here today so that folks can see how big an eagle really is. And Laddie is a non-releasable education bird, and I'll let Jan tell you a little bit more about what her story is and why she's with Liberty Wildlife.
Yeah, this is Laddie. She's just turning 4 years old. She's going into her 4th year. So as she transitions, as Leslie was talking about getting the white head, by the time she's finished with her yearly molt, she'll just have a big a dark eye stripe that goes past her eyes, which is kind of cool looking, very indicative of their age. Her story, she came to us, she's not an urban eagle, you know, which is what we're learning a lot about now. She actually came off the Verde River. She is one of the few natural attacks that happen. She was taken out of her nest by a golden eagle that was passing through the territory. And she was about 5 weeks old. They're not flying at that point. It came in and it grabbed her and dropped her to the ground. She broke the wing over here, her left wing, in probably about 16 places. She had to have several blood transfusions in order to save her life. And we were able to do surgery, but it was enough to save the wing but not save her flight. So she's partially flighted. So she's a bird now that gets to go out and educate. She's still pretty new with the whole thing, and she's doing pretty good, I think, you know, out here with cameras. This is her first camera debut, so she's doing pretty good. And
I could tell she was scared a minute ago.
yeah, no, that's just, you know, she didn't want to mess up her box.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah.
Yeah, awesome. Well, that's cool. Are you guys going to stick around afterwards?
We will be here.
That'd be great, because I know you have not only Laddie, but you had a turkey vulture and a burrowing owl. And what is it? Is that like a Harris hawk?
A red-tailed hawk.
Red-tailed hawk. Of course it is.
And SRP is concerned about all the birds on our power lines. It's just these eagles are the bigger ones. So if folks see an eagle with a backpack on, it's not something strange. It's something that we're working with Arizona Game and Fish to try and get a little more data on what the birds are doing. Yep, what the birds are doing
like,
and where. So the little, and it fits probably just like your bag there. It goes under their wings.
That is so
Between
cool.
their shoulders.
What? Here's a question. What is the most rare animal you have ever found on a power line?
We've had bobcats here in Arizona on our power lines. I've had reports from other biologists that have had mountain lions on power lines, and there have been black bears that have climbed up the lattice towers to get raven eggs out of a nest. So they wanted an egg breakfast.
Wow, what?
A ringtail cat, yeah, in Arizona.
Seriously, wow, that's awesome. Well, thank you very much. That's very cool stuff to know. Like I said, I know I wish we had more time because I know there are other questions, but please stick around and make sure that if you have any questions about how to notify SRP, you can get the information from Leslie.
I would be happy to talk to anyone afterward.
All right, cool. Now, if we all clap, is that going to scare Laddie?
No, she should be pretty good.
Well, she's a ham, isn't she?
Yeah.
All right, well, how about a big round of applause for Laddie and everybody from SRP and Southwest Wild. Thank you very much. Thanks, Leslie. That's